Now listen, I'm just going to tell you what happened so you know the truth, right? Like the word straight from the horse's mouth. Oh, I know they out here talking about me and they need to mind their business. So look, I'm going to explain to you every single thing that happened. So when you hear the story, you know the absolute truth of what happened. Now, I may or may not spend all my time minding other people's business, the way the Lord intended, because I'm just trying to make sure everybody has everything together. But then this thing happened at my house this morning, and the police were very understanding about what happened, and I did not get a ticket or anything at all. So let me tell you. So y'all know recently I've had a lot of hives, right? And I was like, what am I allergic to? What is happening? Turns out I'm not allergic to anything. I have an autoimmune situation, disease, disorder, unclear. I'm still, diagnosed, getting the diagnosis and the good meds and all the things, right? So what happens with this, with CSU, chronic spontaneous hives, but it starts with U. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I have CSU, which is not a university. It's a hives condition where you just like break out in hives, and they're super, super duper itchy, and it's not good. And no matter how much antihistamines you take, they get like a little bit better, but not that much better, right? So the doctor told me that I should take this injection and it's going to work. And I was like, oh, fantastic. So I took the injection and they said it's going to work, only it's going to take like 3 months for it to work. So while I'm waiting the 3 months for the shot to work on the hives, I got to do something about the hives. So they gave me this medication, which is basically an antihistamine, which makes me a little bit like loopy. Okay, it makes me a little bit high, but just like a skosh. Now, y'all know I don't drink no alcohol because lips that touch wine should never touch mine. Oh, I've been sober since 1996. So I'm not out here with the devil's juice. I'm not drinking no liquor, not brown liquor, not wine, not nothing. I'm not doing nothing. So I was totally stone cold sober when it happened, except for I was all hopped up on Allegra, right? You get that Allegra down to the CVS, and you can't even get half stuff from the CVS. They don't even sell alcohol on in the CVS in my county. So I understand why folks thought I was high, but I was not. I was all hopped up on Allegra, right? So I'm sitting here minding my business, doing my taxes, because it's tax season. And then it's like my skin started to feel hot, a little bit hot, and I was like, damn, hives. So I took the 2 Allegra that my doctor told me, and it was like, this not working, because I'm feeling itchy and my skin is getting hotter and hotter. I don't want to describe it because just talking about it triggers me a little bit. And so I was hot. And so I went and I heard the dogs barking. And so I started looking out the front window, the front window of my house, and it's glass. And I realized, because it's all the snow on the ground, that the glass was cold. And I was like, oh, that's going to feel so good on my hive. So I raised up my neck and I pressed my neck against the glass. Oh, that cool glass cooled me down. Well, I have them on my arms too. So I rolled up my sleeve and I was pressing my arm against the glass because the cold on the glass helped me feel cooler. And I just was like, oh, okay, this is working so much better than the Allegra. But also I was like, a little loopy because it was a whole lot of Allegra, and I wanted to get the other arm and my chest and my neck all at the same time because it was itchy. And so I didn't think that much about it. So when I took off my shirt to press my body against the glass, I was thinking, ooh, oh, it's soothing all the hives. It feels so good. And then, with my body pressed against the window, then it got warm. So I turned around and I pressed my back, and I was just like, oh, okay. That part of the glass got warm too. So I went to the back of the house and I was on the patio door and I was pressing, my arms and my back and everything against that window. Oh, it felt so good. But then the back patio window, it got warm too. So, it wasn't nobody home. Everybody is, I don't know, church, running errands. I don't know what they're doing, but it's Sunday. It's nice and quiet in the house. So I was just like, I can't, the itch on my legs. So I took my pants off and I took my shirt off and I was pressing my body against the front of the window, and I was feeling so much relief and I was feeling so much better. And then I heard whoop whoop, and I was like, why are the police at my house? Put everything back together. And I hear, boom, 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 boom. You know how the police knock on your door. They can't ring their doorbell like they got no common damn sense. No, like ding dong on the Ring doorbell. Meanwhile, what's her name? The Ring girl, the girl from the Ring thing was like, someone is at your door. And I was like, somebody knocking down my door. Like they don't have no kind of common doggone sense. So I opened the door and I said yes. And the nice officer was like, hi, we're getting reports from the neighbor of some illicit activity at your house. I said, oh, whatever is happening. Are you this address? 123 Gossip Way? Because maybe they mean Gossip Place. They were like, no, ma'am. No. There were reports of a naked person who had been thrown against the front glass of your house. And I was like, oh. Officer, let me explain what happened. See, what happened was I have CSU. It's not a university. It's an autoimmune thing. And then I get hives. See, you can't see now because they're gone away. What helps them is ice. And so I was looking out the window because the dogs was barking. And I realized when I pressed against the glass, it helped the hives feel so much better. And then I needed that relief because the hives are real bad. And I pressed both of my arms against the window. You saying I can't press my arms against the window in my own house, officer? I feel like that's an invasion of privacy. I can't press my arms against the window in my own house. And he was just like, yes, ma'am, I understand. Ma'am, did you remove your shirt entirely? Because there were reports of a person with a shirt covering her face and her whole unclothed top half was pressed against the window in the front of your house. And then there were reports later of some buttocks, cheeks, and ma'am, we did a complete investigation and we looked, and there's a buttocks cheek outline on your front window. Didn't occur to me that other curtain twitchers on the block might be watching my house. It's my job to watch their house. I didn't even see anybody, which means their curtain twitching game is on point. And I was like, I just would like to assure you that everything is fine. And they were like, yes, ma'am. We want to do a welfare check of the person whose face was covered. They thought it was like a kidnapping or an assault. And I was like, Your Honor, Mr. Officer, let me explain to you. You could come in and I will, because I was real super duper embarrassed. And I explained to him about the hives and the situation. And I showed him the medication. And I told him I was all hopped up on Allegra. And it is not really my fault. And it did not occur to me that the neighbors would be looking at me like that because I believe in privacy and I would never spy on them. Okay, did I lie to the police? Yes, I lied to the police. What am I supposed to do? And I was like, see, what happened was I put my, like this, have you seen the Black History collection from Target? Yeah, it's really nice. It says Pretty Brown Ting. And so I put the Pretty Brown Ting shirt over my face because my face did not have hives, but my chest very much did have hives. And so I can demonstrate, Your Honor, officer, if you would like me to. And he was like, no, ma'am, I believe I understand what happened. You are free to be whatever degree of clothed or unclothed you prefer in your house, but you may want to alert your neighbors. And I was like, right. Note to self, only use the back window. Okay, got it. And so they came in and they inspected and assured that there were no kidnap victims. And then they took a police photo of the booty cheeks on the front window. Could somebody FOIA that? Well, I am a little bit nosy. And if this happened to one of my neighbors, I would FOIA every single bit of it so I could investigate, as part of the neighborhood watch to make sure everybody was safe. But, ooh, dear Black Jesus, I hope they do not FOIA my butt cheeks. Also, turns out, if you're all hopped up on second generation antihistamines, you may take actions that are ill-advised. I just want the entire community to know that it was an accident and it was clearly a misunderstanding. And I commit as a good member of the neighborhood association that going forward, I will only press my body on the back window. Also, possibly snow angels. It depends if these hives start acting up, because I don't know when this shot they gave me gonna start working, but it needs to start working quickly, because I didn't even get a ticket. Because it turns out you could be naked in your own house. People need to mind their business. I was not guilty. But I wanted you to know the full story of what happened for me before people start talking about it out in these streets and I get a bad reputation. Now, has everybody on this block seen all my goodness and mercy? Yes. And to them, I say, enjoy the show, because they are good. I got go. They're real and they're fantastic. Okay? Okay. Now, listen, I'm going to go finish my cup of coffee. I'm going to go sit in the backyard in a bikini, because these hives are still real itchy. And if you see me in a bikini making snow angels, I encourage you to mind your business. And you can tell everybody you know that you heard this directly from me.